Hello everybody, I'm here showing you a tutorial on how to assemble the 3Racing hop-up front shock tower made for the Tamiya DT-02. Now you're going to just need two tools and just one chemical, which is basically some blue Loctite, a T-wrench, and a 2mm hex driver. Now let's get started. Well, first thing you're going to do is that you're going to get the bottom piece here. This is part of the base of the shock tower, and you're going to want to put Loctite in 5 different holes. This hole, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Alright? Because you're going to be threading metal into metal. You're going to want to use some Loctite. Now here's the shock tower. There's 2 sides to this to differentiate for front and rear. The front is completely flat, while the rear has this indent made for the flat screw that comes with it. Now, you just place it on like so. Then you get the flat head, put it in, and then just drive it right on in. Just drive it in so it's a little snug. You don't want to thread it, you don't want to strip it. Now you should have something like this. Now the base comes with 2 different pieces. This bigger piece and this back smaller piece. You're going to want to just put it on like so, and then you get these ones. You get a total of 3 different types of screws. You get M310, M3.8, and M3.6. Your M3.8s, you're going to get 10 of them. You're going to use 4 right here. So 1, 2, just get in the hole of it. There we go. 3 and 4. I'll get a little trouble. And there we go. And you just drive them, all of them right on in like you did before. Just drive them in a little bit. You want to evenly spread out the pressure through this whole plate. You don't want to crush anything, and you don't want anything off center. This goes right on in. Snug. And just go through each one of them and give them a good tightening. Now you want to put a generous amount of Loctite inside the screw holes at first, so you don't have to put any Loctite on the screws themselves. See? And it just makes it so much easier and less messier. Then you should have something looking like this. Now we're going to work on the tops here and then things in the front. Now I'm going to work on a small piece that goes to right here. So you're going to get one of your M3x10s, and you're going to get 3 spacers inside this kit. One large one like this, and then 2 smaller ones. So you get your 10, you get 3x10. Don't forget your Loctite. Just pop some in there. Just get some right on in the hole there. And you just thread it in. You don't want to cross thread anything. Cross thread aluminum, kind of screw it there. This goes right on in. This part's mainly used for when you have the buggy part. This is where your front mount goes for your body. So you'll put your mount in, and then this will cross it. Then it goes right in, and you just screw it right on in. For me, I'm just throwing it in here just right now. And then now we're going to be working on up here for the mounts, for the shock mounts. So what you're going to need your other 2 M3x10s. I'm going to go for the middle, right here. Then you get the smaller spacers. You get 2 of them, 1 for each side. Put it on. And then now what you're going to do is that you're going to want to Loctite the screw. Just put a little bit of Loctite on the end of the screw. And then you get one of your ball stud mounts, and you just thread it on. Now, note the direction. I'm going to the rear of it. Wait a minute. I'm going to say I am sorry, but I made a mistake. I have this flipped around. You know, the instructions they give you is not so clear, so I advise if you go on 3Racing's actual website, they should have a downloadable instructions that's bigger and better. This one had a typo. Instead of saying flat screw, it says a fault screw. Well, and let's get back to business. Well, this is where your box wrench gets into it. There you go. And just give it a good... Well, it's good. You don't want to crush anything. See? You should have something like that. And you repeat it on the second side. Again. Hole. Middle hole. That's how I'm doing it. You can use the inner or the outer hole if you want. This is how I'm just tuning my car. Stick it on. Just thread it by hand. If you put a little bit too much Loctite on it, you'll be good. You don't have to. It's not gonna kill it or anything. It's just gonna do something good. Give it a good little torque. All right, there we go. And basically, your whole shock tower is 100% complete and done. And all what's needed is just to be installed onto the car itself. Now, I have the bottom plate here. This is just the bottom plate that I took off the car itself. And then you're gonna want to mount it up like this, like you'll normally do on your regular DT-02. Your regular old bulkhead slash whatever it was, shock tower. Now what I'm going to do is that at the bottom it's going to be your M3.6s. No, M3.8s. My mistake, sorry. Your M3.8s are going to go at the bottom. Put some Loctite there. You need the Loctite. I'm telling you this, you need the Loctite. Slaps right on. And then just put 4 screws in the 4 holes. Then I'm having a little trouble getting the screw through the plastic. Just get the first one is always the hardest one to deal with. And I got it in. Yeah, usually the first one is always the jerk of the group. So you're going to want to drive them all in. You don't want to go off center or anything. You want to get it right. Want to get them right on in. Now even pressure. Throw them both. Just get it in. Now these are going to be driven in quite far, and I can feel it tightening up. There we go. Tightened. Tightened. Now you want to do that for the next 2. See, now it's easier since you got it halfway mounted. Okay. Want to do the same thing. For a little extra insurance, you can add more Loctite if you want. Me, I'm just throwing it in here, and I'm going to be running inside clay. So I believe just putting Loctite on the pivot block itself will be good. I don't have to put any on the screw. And I believe it'll hold just as fine. Just get it in there. Got to get it nice and tight. Nice and tight. Alright, there we go. And boom, there you go. Complete a shock tower with on the front bumper itself. Now after this, you can just throw this right back on the car right now if you want, but it's going to be a little hard as how I have it here. But I have the A-arms right here, and I'm just going to slap them on right now. So let me grab my 2 A-arms, right and left. And I will get to the other screws, what they're used for. Now 2 of these screws here of the M36s. Two of them is used for right here, these holes here on the end of the shock tower. That's where you put another ball stud if you have the adjustable link set. And then two more comes down here into these two holes down right here, and that's for your sway bar set. Since I have neither, I'm not going to use these. Now these two right here, these are your last M3 by 8s. They're going to go up here on top. They're going to mount to the rear bulkhead that attaches to the chassis when you attach this whole assembly to it. Now let's get this started. When you attach your A-arms, you're going to need a star screwdriver. Now I'm going to go start with the bottoms. In. I'm still using screw pins. It's a little tough, tight squeeze in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my screwdriver and I'm just going to slowly push it in. Now, I made a mistake. Yeah, I made a big ass mistake. Well, it's all part of RC, you know. Just going to loosen up these 4 bottom screws here so I can slap my bottom pins in easier. You know, just bear with me, guys. You know, we're all gonna go through this. You know, you're gonna be learning from my mistake here. All right, so should give you a little bit of free edge here. You get it in, back it up a little bit. And bam, there it's in. Got it in. And just going to tighten it in. Now, what you can do is that you can get the suspension shaft set made for the Tamiya TT-01. No, not TT-01, TL-01. That right there could be working for the top and bottom shafts, suspension shafts. So you don't need these screw pins anymore. I will leave an item number for the TL-01 suspension shaft set in the description for you, just in case you want to know. Now, and here's another tip for these pesky freaking screw pins. I'm going to snap this on. For these pesky screw pins, is that just get a little bit of super glue, put it on the end of the head, tie it right in, you're pretty much set. Now you will get some play like this if you just use this right here. That's why I'm gonna see this play. That's why I'm gonna upgrade back up to the adjustable camber link set. So I'm only gonna do half here, so you basically get the gist of it. See how you have the whole suspension shaft here. You got your shock mounted right here in the middle and stuff like that. And then it's working pretty good. I like it. It looks freaking awesome. It looks great. It's going to make your car look sexy. Yep, I said sexy. But yeah, I'm going to tighten up these when I'm done, when I put the other side on. And I can't wait to slap this in the DT-02, in which in part 2 it's going to be a shorter video, but it's going to be showing me putting this into the DT-02 itself. Alright, stick around for part 2.